Do you think all sheep are just fragile animals meant for lush, green pastures? Today, we are completely shattering that myth. I'm going to show you titans capable of tipping the scales at over 350 pounds of pure muscle, giants that walk under the blistering desert sun, and armored survivors thriving with iron genetics in Arctic temperatures. You will see ferocious creatures armed with 4 horns and others that store their entire energy reserve in a massive fat tail like a dromedary. I present to you biological factories producing up to 6 lambs per birth and undefeated champions immune to parasites and coastal humidity. We are going to traverse the globe through these international extreme breeds. But stay tuned, because later in this video, we are diving deep into overlooked genetic treasures of American heritage. These aren't breeds brought from another continent to adapt. They are resilient survivors that formed right here on our own soil, thriving in our harshest deserts and humidity. They hold the key to truly low-cost, sustainable, and parasite-resistant operations in the US today. This is the definitive guide to the 8 most extreme and powerful sheep breeds on the planet. Ready for the heavyweights? Let's begin. 1. Ouled Djellal, the white giant that defies the Sahara. If you thought the heavyweights in the sheep world were reserved for European wool breeds in mild climates, get ready to have your mind blown. We are in the presence of the absolute queen of the North African desert. This animal isn't just big, it's an imposing mass of muscle and bone. Top-tier select rams can tip the scales at over 350 pounds, and they do it in conditions where even a camel would think twice about going out. Visually, it is a majestic creature. Its body is long and athletic, supported by strong, very high legs that allow it to travel miles over arid terrain, searching for sparse grazing without overheating. But what makes it truly unique is its armor against the blistering sun. Its skin is an immaculate, pure, smooth white. This isn't aesthetic, it is advanced biological engineering. This total white color reflects nearly 100% of solar radiation, keeping the animal at a safe body temperature while the environment is a furnace. Furthermore, it is a hair sheep, not wool, allowing it to dissipate internal heat extremely efficiently through sweat, a very rare capability in sheep. For a producer, this breed is a goldmine in arid regions. Its hardiness is legendary. It can survive long periods with little water and low-quality forage, converting what other breeds would reject into high-quality pounds of meat with astonishing metabolic efficiency. It's not just about meat. Its ability to walk and resist parasitic diseases makes it the foundation for industrial crossbreeding throughout the Maghreb region, injecting size and resistance into flocks that otherwise wouldn't survive. If you are looking for massive production in environments where the thermometer doesn't drop below 104 degrees Fahrenheit, this candidate is simply unbeatable. 2. Sardi, the elegance of the atlas and resilience behind black sunglasses. Now we're taking a radical turn. We stay in North Africa, but we climb toward pure elegance and resilience. This breed is visually unmistakable and possesses one of the most striking features in the entire sheep world. Its entire body is smooth and white, but on its face, it has perfect, circular black spots around its eyes, as if it were wearing sunglasses and a black muzzle as well. This natural makeup is beautiful, but it hides a toughness that borders on the incredible. Unlike the previous breed, this candidate is not an extreme weight giant, though selected rams have very good format. Its superpower is total resistance and metabolic adaptation. This breed evolved between the arid steppes and the high Atlas Mountains, an environment that alternates between stifling heat in summer and penetrating cold in winter, and always with a scarcity of forage that would make any European breeder tremble. How does it survive? By being an untiring forager with a survival instinct that borders on intelligence. It has a unique capacity to accumulate intramuscular fat reserves very quickly when food is available, and to manage them with surgical precision when the drought arrives. This allows it to lamb and raise strong lambs even when the mother is in body conditions that would seem alarming. Furthermore, it has invaluable cultural and religious value. Its aesthetics are so appreciated that it is the preferred breed for the most important religious festivals in the region, giving it a premium commercial value much higher than any common meat breed. It is the perfect balance between beauty, hardiness, and profitability for the traditional breeder who understands that toughness is more important than raw weight. 3. Romanov, the lamb factory that prefers the snow. Forget the desert for a moment. Cross the map and get ready for the extreme cold of the Russian steppes. If the previous breeds were champions of the heat, this candidate is the undefeated queen of the snow. But its true quality, the one that makes it an extreme candidate and the reason genetical experts worldwide keep it under a microscope, is not just its resistance to cold, but its supernatural prolificacy. In the common sheep world, a birth of twins is a good result. In this Russian breed, having 3, 4, 5, or even 6 lambs per birth is, literally, normal. It is a true lamb factory. Imagine the productivity explosion this means for a commercial farm. This unique ability has made it the premier improving breed for increasing the fertility of flocks all over the planet. Crossing a select ram of this breed with commercial ewes is like injecting a supermotor of productivity into the flock in a single generation. How does it manage to raise so many lambs in the Arctic cold? It has a double-layered fleece, a dense, fine inner wool for insulation, and a long, thick outer layer that protects it from moisture and freezing wind. Furthermore, it has a fierce, instinctive mothering ability. These ewes defend and raise their multiple offspring with a dedication that seems almost impossible. But be warned, this candidate is not for everyone. It is a high-precision, Formula 1 genetic formula. It requires high-precision nutrition and management so the mother can sustain the lactation of 4 or 5 lambs. If you have the management, you have the greatest factory of pounds per acre in the world. 4. Navajo-Churro, the ancestral survivor of the Four Horns and the Arizona Desert 5. North America also has its extreme gems, and this candidate is one of the most fascinating and ancient on the continent. This is a local legend, a direct survivor of the first Spanish sheep brought by conquistadors 500 years ago, which went feral in the deserts and canyons of what is today the American Southwest. This breed isn't just extreme for its resistance, it is a genetic time capsule that almost vanished, and today is a symbol of pride and cultural heritage for the Navajo people. Visually, it is striking. It has a double-layered fleece that protects it from the cold of the desert night and the blistering heat of the day. But its most iconic feature is the presence of majestic horns, and in many specimens, 4 horns emerge from its head, giving it a prehistoric and fierce look that seems straight out of an ancient legend. This characteristic isn't aesthetic. It evolved in an environment full of predators and scarcity, where only the strongest and best armed survived. But its true superpower is a rusticity that borders on the mystical. It has been shaped by 500 years of pure natural selection to survive with almost no water, feeding on desert plants and cacti that would kill any other sheep in days. Its DNA contains genes for resistance and adaptation that simply do not exist in modern, highly selected breeds. This is not a breed for massive meat production and confinement. It is the breed for the producer seeking maximum independence from external inputs. It is a living heritage that thrives in absolute adversity right here at home. 5. Gulf Coast native, the immortal sheep that defeats parasites and humidity. We return to North America to meet a candidate that is the pure definition of indomitable health. If you live in an area with high humidity, constant rainfall, and consequently, a brutal parasite pressure that decimates your flocks, get ready to meet your savior. This breed, a direct descendant of the first Spanish sheep that arrived in Florida and Louisiana centuries ago, has gone through a natural selection process so fierce in the swamps and coastal zones of the southern United States that it has developed an immune system that seems straight out of a science fiction movie. While the most highly selected European breeds simply give up and die from the common internal parasites in humid environments, this candidate thrives, reproduces, and fattens without the need for constant chemical dewormers. Its DNA is a biological fortress. Visually, it is a rustic sheep of medium size and light white wool fleece. It does not stand out for a massive show muscle structure, but its true strategic value lies in its net profitability. For a modern producer seeking to reduce veterinary input costs to a minimum, this candidate is the smart choice. Many breeders use it as a base for industrial crossbreeding with heavy meat breeds like Suffolk or Dorper, injecting rusticity and health into the offspring to create lambs that grow fast but inherit the mother's resistance. Imagine having a flock where vet visits are rare and where you don't have to worry about resistance to chemical dewormers, a growing problem in global livestock. This survivor offers you that peace of mind and profitability in areas where other breeds would be unviable. It is the queen of animal health in hostile and humid climates right here in the USA. 6. Merinolandschaf, the German ironclad of genetic precision and grand format. We cross the Atlantic again to arrive at the cradle of engineering and genetic precision, Germany. Here we meet a titan, the ironclad of sheep farming in Central Europe. This breed is the result of centuries of meticulous German selection to create a grand format animal that combines the best of two worlds, the quality of merino wool with an imposing and fast-growing meat carcass. It is, quite simply, a machine of biological precision. Visually, it impresses with its size and strong bone structure, supported by thick and powerful legs. This German variety, the Merinolandschaf, is distinguished by its large and noble head, but with the crucial characteristic of having a face and muzzle free of wool. This pragmatic selection deliberately eliminated wool from the head and legs to create a more efficient animal, easier to manage, and without unnecessary health risks in humid climates, optimizing meat production above all. However, to truly understand the contrast of German engineering, we must look at the historical root, the variety of Spanish origin, the ancestor of this fine wool. This traditional line was selected for centuries, almost exclusively for the extreme fineness of its fleece. which resulted in animals impressive for the quality of their wool, but with the practical inconvenience of having hair and wool covering their face and muzzle, even surrounding their eyes. This excess of facial wool causes management problems known as wool blindness, which requires intensive management to avoid. Seeing these two varieties together is a testament to how distinct breeding objectives, fine wool versus meat efficiency, shape the phenotype of an animal. For a producer, this German candidate is an industrial tool for weight optimization. It possesses a daily growth capacity that competes with the best British breeds, but with the added advantage of superior hardiness. It is an extremely robust and adaptable sheep, capable of walking long distances and extensive grazing without losing its body condition, but responds proportionally to intensive supplementation systems for a fast finish of the lambs. Its greatest strategic value resides in its use as a purebred for massive production of high-quality meat, or as a terminal sire to inject size and structure into flocks that have lost format. If you seek the excellence of sheep engineering applied to meat production, this German candidate is your answer. 7. Awassi, the living battery of the desert that stores energy in its tail. We travel now to Central Asia, to the arid and semi-arid zones of the Middle East, to meet a candidate that is a true marvel of metabolic adaptation. This sheep has evolved over millennia in conditions that would kill any other breed in a matter of weeks. Its superpower, the trait that makes it an extreme candidate and the reason genetic experts worldwide admire it, is its unique ability to store pounds and pounds of fat in a massive hanging tail. This fat tail works exactly like a dromedary's hump. It is a biological energy battery that the animal uses to survive months of drought, absolute scarcity of forage, and extreme temperatures. Imagine having an animal that carries its own integrated food warehouse for hard times. It is quite simply brilliant. Visually, it is unmistakable. It is a rustic sheep, medium to large in size, with a thick wool fleece of white or cream color and a brown or black face with long and drooping ears. But all eyes go to its rear, where an enormous and heavy tail swings with every step. Beyond this anatomical curiosity, it is a triple-purpose sheep, but stands out especially for its high milk production in hostile conditions, making it the foundation of the economy for many nomadic and semi-nomadic communities in zones where agriculture is impossible. For a producer, its rusticity is absolute. It can feed on dry grasses and thorny shrubs that other sheep would reject, converting this marginal forage into pounds of meat and liters of milk with astonishing efficiency. It is not a breed for massive meat production in confinement, but the breed for the producer seeking maximum independence from external inputs in desert or semi-arid climates. It is nature's reserve tank, a millenary heritage that thrives in absolute adversity. 8. Pelibuey, the hair sheep solution for heat, parasites, and profit in the U.S. tropics. Finally, we have arrived. We have saved one of the most remarkable and resilient breeds for the end. While it found its perfect selective environment across Central America, the Caribbean, and Mexico over 500 years, the Pelibuey hair sheep is now emerging as a powerful, low-cost solution for producers struggling with hostile, hot climates right here in the U.S. Sunbelt and Gulf Coast states. This remarkably adaptable breed is the definition of hair sheep excellence. Forget wool, forget shearing, and forget the debilitating heat stress of the tropical zones. This candidate has been perfectly sculpted for high heat production. Sleek, shiny, and powerful, it dissipates internal heat through sweat with extreme efficiency, maintaining a highly active and productive state under the blistering sun, where European breeds would be suffering and shutting down. Visually, it is an elegant and athletic creature, medium to large in size in selected rams. It has strong and long legs, drooping ears, and a short fleece of hair that can be beige, brown, white, or spotted. But its true quality resides in its legendary hardiness. This sheep doesn't just tolerate heat, it is naturally resistant to internal parasites and diseases that devastate European breeds in our hot and humid climates. It has a superior mothering ability and an excellent prolificacy, with twin births very common and the capacity to reproduce year-round without issues. For an American producer in states like Florida or Texas, this candidate is the ultimate tool of profitability. It requires no shearing, has incredibly low veterinary costs, and converts low-quality tropical grass into high-quality pounds of meat with staggering metabolic efficiency. Its greatest strategic value lies in its use as a purebred for massive production of low-cost, rustic meat, or as an unbeatable maternal base to inject rusticity and health into crosses with heavy meat breeds. It is the definitive genetic solution that thrives in adversity and guarantees you profitability and sustainability in the tropics. We have traversed the planet through 8 sheep breeds that are true monuments to resilience, productivity, and extreme adaptation. From the white giant of the Sahara to the lamb factory of Russia, passing by the ancestral survivor of the four horns in Arizona and the ironclad of genetic precision in Germany. We have finished our journey by discovering the hair-sheep power of the Pelibuey, proving itself as the solution for hot climates. It is clear that the path to success is not about seeking a perfect breed, but finding that one which becomes the ideal ally for your type of terrain and the objectives of your local market. Genetics must never be seen as a frivolous expense, but as the smartest and most transformative investment a producer can make on their farm, being the real motor that will put money in your pocket through animals that are healthier, heavier, and more efficient. For us, the most important thing is that this information serves as a roadmap for you to make informed decisions that improve your quality of life and the productivity of your field. If this profound analysis has been useful to you and you want to continue learning about the secrets of sheep farming, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you do not miss any of our next videos. Hit the like button if you believe that genetics is the key to progress, and please leave us your comment down here telling us what breed you currently raise or which of these 8 marvels you would like to introduce in your next project. We read and value each of your stories. Thank you for accompanying us on this journey through sheep excellence and for forming part of this community of passionate producers. Remember always that applied knowledge is the most powerful tool you have to prosper in the field and ensure the future of your operation. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.